Hello dear Cut and Sew tribe, welcome to another interesting tutorial. In today's class we are going to learn how to achieve this 720-degree peplum. So I added crinoline to achieve this effect on the peplum. I'm going to show you how to adapt your basic body to achieve bustier. So if this looks like what you want to learn, let's get into it in detail. For the required materials, you're going to need your crinoline, like I said, to achieve that effect. I have half yard of chantilly net, and here is the African prints I'll be using for the blouse and skirt. I'll be showing you the blouse alone. So I have my lining, and you are going to need your stay. So for the basic body, I have drafted out my basic body. So I have all the lines drawn out: shoulder line, bust points, under bust, and the front length. So if you want to know how to go about it, I have detailed tutorial on this channel on how to draft our basic body. So the first thing you are going to do on the pattern now to alter this basic body is to tighten our under bust. So divide your under bust circumference into 4, and you are going to have some inches left by the side. So whatever you have by the side, you are going to take it away from the dart line. So from that dart line, the last one there, go in by ½ inch. Can you see it? So on that ½ inch now, you are going to place your tape measure to take away what you have left by the side. So now these 2 points, you are going to draw your line to the down part like you see me doing, and you are successfully tightening your under bust. So but you still need to create the shape of the cup with your curve. So repeat the same thing on the other side, just like you see me doing. So the next thing we're going to do now is to tighten our over bust as well. But then before you can do that, you are going to measure your yoke. So the yoke depth depends on your preference. Because I'll be putting my Ankara fabric under the chantilly lace, so I'll be coming down on my bust line by ½ inch, and on the shoulder line, this point I'm pointing to, I'll go up by ½ inch as well. So I came down by ½ inch from the bust line, and on the shoulder I went up by ½ inch. Can you see the way I place my curve, just to like create a little bit of curve on the yoke? Do you get it now? So this is my yoke, and now because I've gotten my yoke, I can extend my bust line to the yoke. Can you see it? And I'll go ahead to tighten the over bust. So I'm going to open that line up by ½ inch on both sides. Do you get it now? And you are going to connect it back to the apex, to your bust point as seen. So this is it. We have successfully tightened our over bust, and this front block is ready to be cut. So for the neck width, because we are going to attach a band to it, so I did not use 3 inches, I used 2.5 because I don't want it to be too wide. But for the depth, I used 3 inches. Now for the back depth neckline, I used 1, and the width I used 2.5. Do you get it now? So I'll go ahead now and cut it out from the center line before cutting the side of the front. So you need to do this so that you can fold in your bust dart. Can you see the way I am folding my bust dart? So you can now go ahead now and cut your side front. Can you see it now? So go ahead and cut everything out. So this is the complete pattern set. I'm going to put this aside now so that we can work on the down parts, I mean the peplum. So I'll go ahead and cut out this. I've not cut it out. Now I'll pack them aside and we're going to work on the peplum. So for our peplum, we're going to do some calculations. I'm going to show you how to get the 720-degree peplum on our dress. So this is what we are going to do. Whatever your blouse length is, you need to take note of it. Whatever your blouse length is, in my own case, my blouse length is 25. Do you get it now? So you are going to take away the upper part, which is from shoulder to the waistline. You need to take it away from the full blouse length. So when I took my own away, I have 9 inches left as my peplum length. And you don't want to cut 720-degree flare. So that means we are cutting 2 circles. We are just cutting 360-degree. We are cutting 2 360-degree. So now to get that, the fullness on the waist on the peplum, I added extra 20 inches to my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 36 and I added 20 inches. That 20 inches is just for you to be able to pleat it. Do you get it now? So, and I had 56 inches. Now 56 inches is the total circumference of the waist, but you know we are cutting 2 circles. So that 56 inches, you are going to divide it into 2. That means 1 circle for the front, 1 circle for the back. So when I divided it, I got 28. So the 28 inches, go ahead now and use 6.28 or whatever you get on your own calculation. You know I'm using my own calculation now. So when I use 6.28 to divide 28, I got 4.5. So that 4.5, you are going to add it to the initial 9 inches we got, the length of our peplum. And all this calculation will help you to manage your fabric. So when I added 9 to 4.5, I got 13.5 inches. So you can just do where and add like 1 inch extra to it, and that gave me 14.5. So that 14.5 is what I am trying to fold now. So can you see it? I have measured 14.5 like so. So I'm still going to repeat it on this other side, 14.5, and I will go ahead and fold it again. Can you see the way I am folding it? So that I can get perfect square. So to be able to cut your full circle, you need to fold your fabric in such a way that you are going to get perfect square. I hope you understand what I mean by perfect square. So this is what I am trying to do. So after folding it successfully like this, can you see it? I will now go ahead and measure the 4.5 inches. Can you see it? You measure it from that sharp corner. So can you see the way I am placing my tape measure? So just go ahead and measure whatever you get for the radius. So that is what I measured, and you make sure you measure it round. So after that, now you can now go ahead and measure your peplum length. My own is 9 inches, and you know I said you should add extra of 1 inch to the length of your fabric. So you are going to add it to it because you know we are going to turn it at the hem. So I added 1 inch to my 9, and that gave me 10 inches, and that was what I measured round. And I hope you saw the way I rotated my tape measure. So I'll just go ahead now and cut this. So after cutting it, now I'm still going to use it to cut another one. So I've done that. Can you see it? I have my 2 peplum set. So now all this leftover fabric, what I cut from the peplum, is what I will use now to cut the upper bodies. I'm going to transfer it to the fabric and I will cut. So I forgot to cut the yoke for the back. There is yoke at the back of this dress as well. So that is what I'm trying to do. I need to cut it out, the yoke. This is totally optional. It depends on what you want. So I came down by 7 inches and I just draw that shape there. Can you see? So I need to cut this out so that I can cut the yoke for the back. So I will just go ahead and transfer everything to the fabric. I'm going to add all the necessary seam allowance. So as you can see, I've done that. For the front yoke, I cut it like so, and I added half inch all through, except for the center. I'm going to cut it on fold. Do you get it now? So I did not add anything to the center. So this is my yoke for the front. For the center front now, can you see it? I added half inch all through, except for the center. It is cut on fold, and I've gone ahead to cut my wording. So for the wording, I came down by half inch and I went up by half inch from the waist. Do you get it now? You have to do this so that your wording will not enter the seam line. I hope you get my explanation. And I've cut the lining as well. So for the side front now, this is side front. I'm going to add seam allowance. So I added 2 inches. This is totally optional. You can add between 1 to 2 inches, and every other part I added half inch. So, and I'm gonna ahead to cut my wording. So you have to consider your seam allowance. You don't want to waste your wording. So I've cut that. And for the yoke for the back, I added half inch to the neckline, but the center front, we are going to attach zipper to it. I added 1 inch, and every other part I added half inch all through. So for the down part of the front, of the back rather, I added 1 inch to the side. I added 2 inches. So this is my peplum. I've cut my peplum out. Can you see it? I've cut the lining and I cut interfacing. So the interfacing now, I'll take it to the ironing table. I'll go and fuse it on the main fabric. I'm just going to do that on the main fabric alone. So now we can proceed to joining all these pieces together. Can you see it now? So the first thing I want to do now is this. Can you see my fronts? These are my front set. So place it side by side, and you place it on each other, right side facing right side, and you go and use your seam allowance to join it together. You repeat the same thing on the lining. So this is it. I've done that, and I've gone ahead to hold down my net on the Ankara fabric, and this is my front. So I've gone ahead to press open it with iron. Do you get it now? So I'll just go ahead now. This is it, to attach my yoke. So to do that, you need to get the midpoint so that everything can align. So get the midpoint on the down part and the yoke. So that is what you see me doing right now. And after that, now I'll just place it on each other, right side facing right side, and I will go and sew it down on half-inch seam allowance. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the back block. So I'm going to attach my yoke to the down part. Do you get it now? So let me go and do all those things now. I'll come and continue from there. So can you see I've joined it together? This is what we have. I've had my dart on the back pieces. So, and I've given it a good press so that everything can come out neatly. Now to join our lining, can you see the way I'm placing my lining? So you are going to place it. Can you see it? You are going to sew it on the upper part. So can you see it? So you place it and you are going to use it to turn it like so. Now for the front, you are going to repeat the same thing. I've joined the lining together. So can you see it? Flip your yoke down like this. Flip it down like this, and you are going to place your lining right side facing the wrong side, and you are going to sew it on that yoke part. So this is what we have. I've sewn it down. So I closed the zipper side. Can you see it? But the side I left it because we are going to use it to turn the side. I did the same thing for the front. You can see I left the two sides open, but I've turned it on the yoke area. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I'm going to shape it So when I want to shape, I'm going to place it lining to lining, fabric to fabric. I hope you get it. I've gone ahead to fuse my interfacing, and this is our lining. We need to cut it open. You know, it is perfect circle and I've not cut it open. So we are going to cut the two peplum, cut that of the fabric and the lining. You need to separate it like so. And after cutting it into two, you make sure now you are going to join it together to form just one single piece. You repeat the same thing on the lining. So this is it. You take it to the sewing machine. You are going to join the two pieces together to just form one single piece, and you repeat the same thing on the lining. So this is it. I've joined it together. Can you see it, both the lining and the fabric? And this is what we have. So the parts, that place you join together, you are going to set it like this so that your work can be very neat. And you can now go ahead and bring your crinoline. So this is the crinoline. I have about the width of this crinoline is 2 inches. So the edge of your crinoline, it is always advisable you tape it like this so that it will not fray. Are you getting it now? So I love doing it like this. I'll just conceal the mouth like this. All right, so if you notice, I place the lining on the fabric right side facing right side, and you are going to place your crinoline on the lining just like you see me doing. Just make sure you arrange the edge, the mouth of everything, make sure they all align. And another important trick you need to know when you are sewing your crinoline is that you make sure you don't pull it, make sure you don't stretch it. So you just go ahead and sew it gently across the circumference of your peplum. Can you see it? So I'm just sewing like it's not up to half of an inch. Can you see it? And I will sew it all through. So when you get to the end like so, cut it. I have excess of crinoline, so you cut it and you repeat the same thing what we did to the mouth of the beginning. You need to conceal that part. It's very important so that it will not fray. Do you get it now? So I'll conceal it like this and I will just finish it up like so. Another important trick to having a perfect peplum when you are using your crinoline is that you must know the right way to top stitch it. So we're going to top stitch it now. So you are going to take your peplum. I hope you can see it. Can you see it now? So this part now, you make sure the same allowance you sew down, you make sure you flip it over to the lining. I hope you can see it. So you turn it over like this, and when you want to top stitch, you are going to top stitch on the lining. Can you see the way I'm using my hand to adjust it, just to make sure that the same line, the same allowance that we use to attach our crinoline to the peplum is facing the lining side. So that is what I'm trying to do. That part can be a bit difficult, but it is doable. Just make sure you push your seam allowance towards your lining, and once that is done, you just go ahead and top stitch it. Guys, if you don't top stitch this, your crinoline will not relax very well. So you need to do this so that your crinoline can relax and everything will come out very neat. So I'll go ahead and top stitch everything before I'll take it to the ironing table, and I will iron it down, and I'll come and show you how to pleat it correctly. So this is what we have. I've top stitched it and I've given it a good press. Can you see it even without splitting? Can you see the way it is coming out? But then I'm still going to add the pleating to it. So that was the reason why I added extra 20 inches so that it can create like that cone effect. Do you get it now? So make sure you just calculate your 20 inches and just spread it across the waist. Now you make sure by at the end of the day you have up to your waist circumference. So I'm just holding the pleats small small, just small small like that, you know. Even without the pleats, the wavy effect has come out. Do you get it now? So I'll just split it around just like you see me doing. So it's always good you pin it down as you are pleating it. Can you see it? So I will hold it carefully so that I can still maintain my waist circumference. So I have this side done. I will repeat what I have done to the other side. So this is it, so beautiful. Can you see it? This is how it will stand. So I'll take it to the sewing machine. I'll go and sew it down on the waist so that it can be very convenient when I want to attach it to the upper part. So I've sewn it down, everything is staying together, and this edge, the two sides, I've sewn it down inside. I turn it inside before sewing. So the next thing to do now is to go and join the shoulders together. So now this shoulder, the reason why I did not use the lining to turn the fabric to turn the neckline is because, you know, we are still going to attach neckband. So that was why I left it like this. Now I've shaped the upper parts using my own accurate measurement. So you want to do the same thing, just use your own accurate measurements, your bust, your under bust, and your waist. Now it's time to attach our peplum. So this is what you want to do. You are going to take it, the fabric, to the peplum. You know, we have joined the lining of the peplum together with the fabric. So this time around you are going to pick the peplum together with the fabric alone of the upper part. Let me turn it so that you can see it better. Can you see it? Can you see that I am not picking the lining of the upper part? So it is just the peplum and the main fabric of the upper part. So we are going to use the lining of the upper part to turn the waistline. Do you get it now? So I just have to pin it down so that you can see what I am working on. So I'll pin everything down on the waistline, lining to peplum alone. So this is what we have. I'll take it to the sewing machine. I'll go and sew it down without the lining. Do you get my points now? So let me go and do that, and I'll come and show you how to turn it with the lining. So I've sewn it down. This is it. I've sewn it down. This is what we have. So it's now time to use the lining of the upper part to wrap the waistline. So you are going to pick it like this. Can you see it? So that means you are going to push in the peplum. It's going to enter. Can you see the way I'm pushing it in? You will have it inside, in between the lining and the main fabric of the upper part. Do you get it now? So when you wrap it like this, you go and sew it down. So I've sewn it down, and can you see that the peplum is inside, and from the armhole, and I am trying to pull it out just the way you see me doing. So you are going to push it out like this carefully, and this is what we have. So the essence of that is just to conceal the seam line on the waistline so that we can achieve a very neat finishing. So after pulling everything out, now it's time to work on the neckband. So this is very simple. It's you just measuring what you have left on your neckline. So in my own case, I have 19 inches, and I've gone ahead to fold the fabric here. So I line my chantilly net. I measure 4 inches wide and the length is 19 inches. So I use iron to fold in half there, and I refold 1.5. So, and I'll still have half inch left for the same allowance. I hope you get it now. So, and to attach it to the neckline, I'm going to place it from the wrong side. Can you see the way I'm placing it? So that half inch I left is what I'm going to use to attach it to the neckline. So you can just do it and pin it down like you see me doing. So you can see that I have to open it up. So go ahead now and pin it around your neckline. So you need to fix in your neck collar before you can fix your zipper. Do you get it now? So I'll pin it down. I'll take it to the sewing machine to go and sew it down. Now after sewing it down like that, let's assume I've sewn it down, I will now cover it up like this. Can you see it? So I will now sew it very close to the edge so that it can be very neat. I hope you get it. So this is what we have. Can you see how beautiful and neat this work is? So I'll take it back to the sewing machine to fix my zipper, and that part of the yoke at the back, I'm going to weave it so that everything can be neat. And for the sleeve, I'm going to leave that to you to use any sleeve of your choice. So this is it. This is the end of the tutorial. I fixed my sleeve, the sleeve of my choice, and can you see how full the peplum is? So if you find this tutorial helpful, kindly give us a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel for more free interesting tutorial, and turn on the bell notification so that you'll be notified anytime I upload another one. Bye.